Okay, today we are doing slope of a line. So we are talking about how lines tilt and the direction that the lines go in, and if a line is very steep or if a line is very shallow. So let's start off with just the basic definition for that. All right, so we're going to do vocab. Vocab for slope is the steepness or tilt of a line. So how much a line goes up, goes down. So that's my definition. Here for journal, I've got, if slope means steepness, then what would a large slope indicate? So a large slope would be like a large number, like 7 or 8 or 9. So a large slope, which also is going to be a large number, 7, 8, 9, is steep. Like this, like a line that's like super steep. So then for number 2, it says a small slope, sentence in a picture. A small slope would be a small number. A small slope will be a small number. And so a small slope would be, we'll call it like flat or shallow. That would be a line that was like this, like barely went up, something like that. Okay, it's not very steep, it's like more flat, doesn't really rise. Okay, so we're going to plot the points. So what you need to do is you need to actually make your own X and Y axis. I realize that the X is there. So on the X, will you please make a thicker black line with your arrows on your X axis. And then on your Y axis, make a line going up and down with the arrows, Y axis. So now let's read what the question asks us to do. Plot the points -1, 2. So just a recap, -1, 2 would be, I would go left or right, -1. So let's do that on the graph. Starting at the origin always. You go -1. So negative is going to be to the left. And then I'm going to go 2 up or down. It's a +2, so I'm going to go up. So -1 means I start at the origin, I go 1 to the left, and then I go 2 up. So you're going to make a red dot, or make a dot, there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to plot 3, 0. So first you're going to go left or right, +3. And then I'm going to go 0. So I'm going to start at the origin. And I'm going to go +3. That means to the right 3. And then I'm going to go 0 up or down. That would be right here. All right, plot the points -1, 2 and 3, 0. Got that. Draw the line that passes through them. So I have this special song. Of course I do, right? It goes, connect the dots, la, 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 la. So I connected the dots. And now I need to use rise and run. And we haven't even talked about rise and run, you guys. So let's talk about it. Rise over run. What you're going to do is I have a couple of tips. For rise and run, the first thing that you're going to do is I want you to start the lowest point. Okay? So here's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do this in green. My lowest point is right here. Right here. So what you need to do is you need to go from red dot to red dot. I'm going to start at the lowest point. I'm going to rise up 1, 2. So I rose 2. So that's your numerator. Slope is always a fraction. Starting at my lowest point, I rose up 2. And now I need to run. So from this point where I ended, I'm going to run to the other dot. So I'm going to run 1, or negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. I ran 4 to the left. That's a negative 4. 2 over negative 4. That's my slope. If a fraction can be reduced, you always need to reduce it. 1 over negative 2. Or you can just write negative 1/2. Or you could even put the negative with the numerator and just put negative 1/2. They all mean the same thing. Once you get your fraction written and once you reduce your fraction to lowest terms, you can put that negative anywhere you want. It still means negative 1/2. A negative slope, negative 1/2, is going to be a downhill line. See how my line goes downhill? And the direction, I'll use blue for this. The direction downhill. It goes downhill. All right, let's go on. And let's try this one. So here's, remember, my little tips. Start at your lowest point, and then you're going to rise up, and you're going to run, you're either going to run left or right, okay? So here we go. A, start at your lowest point and rise. 1, 2, 3. So rise over run. I just rose up 3. Now I'm going to run. 1, positive 1, positive 2, positive 3, positive 4. Run, positive 4. 3 over 4. My slope for A is 3/4. I can't reduce it, so I'm not going to. 3/4. Let's go to B. All right. Start at the lowest point. Well, it's a flat line, so there's nowhere to rise. Rise, nothing. I can't rise. So I'm going to rise actually 0, guys. I can't go up. I can't go down. Nothing. But I'm going to run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0 divided by 5 is 0. And we are going to call this a flat line. It is a 0 slope. Okay? It's a flat line, and it's a 0 slope. All right, let's move on to the next. All right, we did this last chapter where you use the table to find, we called it rate of change. And I want to remind you, it's always y over x. So let's do that. All right. How does negative 3 become negative 6? What did I do? I subtracted 3. How does negative 6 become negative 9? You subtract 3. How does negative 9 become negative 12? You subtract 3. My y changes because I'm subtracting 3. Now let's go to the x. How does 1 become 3? Add 2. How does 3 become 5? Add 2. How does 5 become 7? Add 2. Positive 2. Negative 3 over 2. Perfect. Let's try number 4. It's y over x. How does 5 become 7? Plus 2. How does 7 become 9? Plus 2. How does 9 become 11? Plus 2. So my y over x is, the y is changing because I'm adding 2, but how is my x changing? How did 1 become 2? How did 2 become 3? How did 3 become 4? Y changed because I was adding 2. X changed because I was adding 1. All right, so let's say that you don't have a graph and that you want to be able to find the slope, but all you're given are 2 ordered pairs. And you don't feel like drawing the graph on the side of your paper, and it's just maybe too much work to make the x-axis and the y-axis. So in this case, what we have is we have a formula. And the formula that we have for finding slope is when you're given 2 ordered pairs, x1 and y1, first point, x2, y2, second point, you use this formula right here. The y's subtracted and the x is subtracted. Remember the problem we just finished, how it was y over x to find rate of change? It's always going to be like that. You will always work with the y numbers in the ordered pair on the numerator. You will always work with the x numbers of the ordered pair on the denominator. So here's a sample that I just want you to write in the left margin under the word examples. Let's just practice one together so I can make sure that you're confident on what to do. The point is -1, 5. And the second point is -2, 3. So what this means is that this is that -1, 5 is my first ordered pair. -2, 3 is my second ordered pair. So I can even label them, and let me do it in a different color so it's super obvious. x1, y1, x2, y2. So what I need to do now is I need to subtract the y's. You go in any order that you feel confident doing. I have set up this y2 minus y1 because I think that starting with the second ordered pair helps. y2, 3, minus y1, 5, over x2, -2, minus x1. Be careful because it's a -1. Write this down. 3 minus 5, that's my y's, how my y changes. And then -2 minus -1. Here we go. -2 over, remember this is plus sign, right? -2 plus 1, -1. Simplify the fraction. 2 over 1, or since it's just 2 over 1, you can just say 2. My slope is 2. You're subtracting the y's, you're subtracting the x's. All right, so now we're going to talk about the direction that a line goes before we start practicing some slope equations. Positive, negative, 0 were undefined. Well, we did the 0 slope a couple of problems ago. Remember I said the 0 slope was a flat line? So let's put that word, flat, above the word 0. All right, first graph, uphill or downhill? Is it positive or negative? Is it uphill or downhill? Say it out loud, what is it? Yep, it's going to be negative because it's a downhill line. Second, oh, it's a flat line. What was the flat line again? What was that? You're right. 0 slopes because it was a flat line. Okay, looking at the third graph, how does the line move? Uphill or downhill? Well, it moves uphill, so that's going to be a positive slope. And so what's left, guys? What's still yet to choose? The line that's up and down. Undefined. Undefined. And just so you know, it's going to be when you have like a number, your slope is like 6 over 0. When 0 is under, it's undefined. If 0 is under, it's undefined. All right? All right, the next thing we're going to do is going to watch a quick movie on slope. Kind of just gives you an idea of what it is. So let's go ahead. Let me see if I can get this to work. All right, sorry guys, I'm trying to make this work. Looks like it's loading. Go. I don't think that it's working. Sorry, guys. All right, number 2. Okay, we're going to do 2 things here. The first thing we're going to do is we are going to draw a line to verify. So that means that you have to draw your x-axis. It's like right here. Kind of hard to see, but it's right there. And this is my y-axis. Label, always, x, y. Okay, -3, 0. -3, 0. Blue dot right here. And then -1 and up 6. -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Connect the dots, la, 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 la. Psh, like that. Okay. Use rise and run to find the slope. Start at the lowest point. Rise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Rise over run. 6 over 1, 2. 6 over 2. Always reduce every fraction that you can. 3 over 1. Perfect. All right, so go to now, all right, here we go. Let's use the formula, okay? So I want to remind you that these are my points. Remember, it's x1 and y1, x2 and y2. So what you need to do is let's not forget, y2 minus y1, look at the top of your paper, over x2 minus x1. 6 minus 0, y2 minus y1, over x2 minus x1, -1 minus -3, plus sign, 6 over 2. Hey, that's what we got the first time, 3 over 1. So we did it right. We did a great job. Find the slope given the points. Label, guys, make it easy on yourself. x1, y1. x2, y2. y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1. Over x2 minus x1. Negative 3 plus 3, 0, right? 5 plus 1, 6. Ooh, when 0 is on the numerator, it is a 0 slope. That's A. Let's do B. All right. x1, y1, x2, y2. y2 minus y1. y2 minus y1. Over x2, 1 minus x1, negative 2. Do the math on the numerator. Negative 3 take away 1, negative 4. 1 minus negative plus 2. 3, 4/3. All right? Good job. Last one, C. x1, y1. x2, y2. y2 minus y1. 2 minus negative 4. Over x2 minus x1. On the numerator, 2 minus negative 4. Make it 2 plus 4. 6 over 0. Oh, 0 is under. It's undefined. All right? Perfect. Last question. Find the value of y so that the line passing through the points 3 comma something and 1 comma 5 has a slope of 2. All right, guys, I'm going to set this up for you, but you need to be able to figure this out on your own. I want, watch, x1, y1, x2, y2 to have a slope of 2 or 2 over 1. So here's what I'm going to have. y2 minus something, y1, over x2 minus x1 to equal 2 over 1. So right now as a group, you guys work together in your tables and figure out what do you need to plug in for y so that you get a fraction that reduces to 2 over 1. Because obviously, look, 1 take away 3 is going to be negative 2. So you're going to have to end up reducing this. So what does this have to be so that something over negative 2, something over negative 2 reduces to 2 over 1? 5 minus what? What is the question mark? 5 minus what is the question mark? All right, try and figure it out, guys.